The mountain village of Thespios lay peaceful as the morning sun cast golden light across its humble structures. Nestled between ancient olive groves and terraced farmland, the villagers went about their daily routines without concern for the world beyond their valley. Among them walked Theron, a simple shepherd whose mysterious past was known to none and not even himself. 20 summers had passed since the village elder found Theron as an infant, lying in a smoldering crater beside the carcass of a great eagle. The elder kept the strange circumstances of his discovery secret, raising Theron as his own. All the boy inherited from his unknown origins was a pendanta, strange crystalline shard that sometimes seemed to pulse with an inner light. Theron's life was unremarkable, save for his unusual strength and the strange dreams that haunted his sleep visions of lightning storms, distant mountains, and faces he couldn't recognize that left him gasping for breath in the pre-dawn darkness. "You were born for more than this valley," the elder would sometimes whisper when Theron's frustrations with village life boiled over, but what more meant remained a mystery. Until today. The attack came without warning. As Theron guided his flock up the hillside, the sky darkened unnaturally. What he first mistook for storm clouds revealed themselves as writhing forms with wings that blotted out the sun. Their scream-shaft woman half-bird sent ice through his veins. Harpies, creatures he'd only heard about in fireside tales. "The village," he whispered, dropping his staff and racing down the hillside. By the time he reached Thespios, chaos reigned. The harpies tore through thatched roofs and snatched at fleeing villagers with razor talons. Children screamed as they ran for shelter. Blood already stained the central square where bodies lay motionless. "Get to the temple!" Theron shouted, grabbing a fallen pitchfork and driving back a harpy that had cornered a young girl. But the creatures were everywhere, their hunger insatiable. As Theron fought to clear a path to the temple for the villagers, rage built within him. When a massive harp larger than the others, with eyes like smoldering embers descended upon the elder who had raised him, something inside Theron shattered. "No!" he roared, and the pendant at his chest flared with blinding light. Energy surged through his limbs, and the world around him seemed to slow. He felt power coursing through his veins, familiar yet foreign, like a forgotten memory suddenly restored. Without understanding how, Theron raised his hands, and lightning erupted from his fingertips. The bolt struck the queen harpy, sending her spiraling into 3 of her kin. They fell in a smoldering heap as the remaining harpies shrieked in alarm. Theron stared at his hands in shock, electricity still dancing between his fingers. "What am I?" he whispered. But there was no time for answers. The remaining harpies, enraged by their queen's fall, descended on him in a furious wave. Instinct took over. Theron leapt higher than any mortal man could, meeting the creatures in midair. His fists glowed with crackling energy as he struck beast after beast, sending them plummeting to the earth. The villagers watched in awe and terror as their humble shepherd transformed before their eyes into something beyond human. When the last harpy fell, Theron stood amid the carnage, chest heaving, his eyes glowing with divine light. "Theron?" The elder approached cautiously, blood streaming from a gash on his forehead. What are you?" Before he could answer, a woman's voice filled his mind. "So another of my husband's bastards survives." The voice was cold, imperious, filled with disdain and something else calculation. "You've revealed yourself at last. How convenient." Theron spun, searching for the source, but saw nothing unusual among the frightened faces of the villagers. "Did you hear that?" he asked the elder, who only looked at him with growing concern. "They cannot hear me, demigod. Only you." Atop the distant mountain that overlooked the valley, a regal figure stood watching. Her golden dress shimmered in the sunlight, and a peacock's feather crown adorned her head. Beside her, a servant bowed low. "You were right, my queen," the servant said. "Zeus's bloodline endures in this one." Hera smiled coldly. "Of course I was right. I've felt his kind for decades, hiding like rats in the shadows. But this one," her eyes narrowed on the distant figure of Theron, "this one might be useful. Shall I dispatch him, your majesty?" "No." Hera's smile grew calculating. "Let him live for now. Let him discover what he is. Let him draw out the others." She turned away, her divine form beginning to shimmer with light. "The age of Zeus is ending. The time has come for a new divine order without my husband's endless progeny polluting the mortal realm." Back in the village, Theron felt the presence in his mind withdraw, leaving him cold and confused. The villagers were keeping their distance now, eyeing him with a mixture of gratitude and fear. "I don't understand what's happening to me," he told the elder. The old man sighed heavily. It is time you knew the truth. He gestured to the pendant that still glowed faintly at Theron's chest. That belonged to your father. I believe you are the child of a god. That's impossible, Theron whispered, but even as he said it, he knew it was true. The power that had flowed through him felt like birthright, not miracle. You must leave Thespios, the elder said sadly. Whoever sent these creatures knows you're here now, and whoever you truly are. He glanced around at the destruction. Your presence puts us all in danger. Theron felt his world crumbling. Where would I go? East, the elder said. Beyond the mountains lies the temple of the oracle. If anyone can tell you who and what you truly are, it would be her. That night, Theron packed what little he owned. As he prepared to leave the only home he'd ever known, a young woman approached him, Lyra, the blacksmith's daughter who had always shown him kindness. I'm coming with you, she said firmly, a packed satchel already over her shoulder. It's too dangerous, Theron argued. You saw what happened. I saw you save us all, she countered. And I know the way to the oracle. My mother made the pilgrimage before I was born. Something flashed in her eyes, determination, but also knowledge Theron couldn't fathom. Besides, she added more softly, you're not the only one in this village with secrets. Before he could question her further, screams erupted from the far side of the village. They ran to investigate and found villagers pointing at the sky in terror. There, illuminated by moonlight, 3 figures hovered above Thespios. Not harpies this time, but women with great wings extending from their backs and gleaming armor that caught the starlight. Their faces were beautiful but cold, their eyes glowing with divine power. Children of Zeus, the central figure called out, her voice resonating with unnatural power. By decree of Queen Hera, your existence is forfeit. Surrender now, and your deaths will be merciful. Theron stepped forward, lightning again crackling at his fingertips. I don't know who you are or what you want, but if it's a fight you seek, you've found one. The winged woman smiled. I am Alecto, lieutenant of the Divine Executioners, and you, little demigod, have no idea what true power is. She raised her spear, which burst into celestial flame and descended toward Theron as the village erupted into chaos once more. To be continued.